What's up, folks? Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons, ready for another week. Been off the last couple weeks. You've taken care of play-by-play duties, and so any play-by-play this week? Tomorrow morning. Oh, it's not on. Oh, it is on. I think it's on. See if it'll. Okay, that's better.
But yeah, tomorrow morning, the very rare morning basketball game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even know what it's classified as. It's like some team is going to count it as an exhibition. Maybe one might count it as a win. I don't know. Like somebody might count it as a real game. So it's tough to say what I'm getting. All I know is I have to be there by 11.
That is early.
For a basketball game. Usually they're not played tip-off's supposed to be 11:30.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I appreciate whoever tried to schedule it though at that time, because it means that it should only cut into the first half of tomorrow's World Cup match in the semifinals. So
Okay.
So that should work. I was like, I should be able to catch the rest of the game.
Okay. Well, cool.
I mean, that's the most.
Well, I'm glad you
thing.
can make it tonight.
Yeah.
So.
I still gotta go do the notes though. So after we're done with this, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do the notes. I haven't even touched them.
We've got NXT on the TV, and it's the new NXT Tag Team Champions, the New Day. I'm trying to think how many teams have hit the Triple Crown in WWE.
Don't you mean who?
Or who?
They posted 3.
Who was it? Did you remember who?
It was a graphic, but obviously the New Day. I mean, they're rather new teams.
Street Profits?
Yeah, I think.
Street Profits may be.
Pretty sure they were one of them, but
Who
they had to
was
be
the other
NXT champions too.
Right, it's Triple Crown. So Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Who is the third team?
I don't know. I have to look. And it's Kofi's 15th tag title reign.
Yeah, that's some sort of record, right?
Surpassing Booker T,
Oh, wow.
in fact. So congratulations to the New Day. And we'll talk about NXT Deadline.
Yes, you're right. So it is the Street Profits, but it's also probably the greatest tag team going right now with RT.
FTR?
Yeah.
As the Revival. Right. That's right. Revival. Now,
how did their theme song start?
The FTR. I don't remember.
It had a name drop, right?
Yeah.
It had a sound drop beforehand, and then their music would start.
And now they're the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the AAA Tag Team Champions, former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. And we'll talk about that as well. But hope everybody's having a good beginning of your week so far. As we get closer and closer to Christmas. So, yeah. Anyway.
What? I was like...
No, I'm just trying to...
something
I was trying to hear... without getting too loud, trying to hear if they're saying anything. I'm sure it's just your typical celebration, and we'll have somebody come out to interrupt them.
Are you
that's how they do.
That they were the ones that defeated Pretty Deadly?
Not after they appeared. I had a feeling. So
yeah, but don't you feel like some other tag team would have been better served by winning the titles? Or does this elevate the importance of the titles?
But that's kind of the same as putting the NXT title on Dolph Ziggler last year or earlier this year or whenever it was.
Well, I guess it just really depends on how you look at NXT, right? Because
right,
this is I know they're not saying it anymore, but it's still 2.0. So like I kind of feel like everything that was built up in that original NXT run, like kind of didn't carry over.
Well,
it's prestige and such. Or do they try to map? They try to map the lineage, right?
Well, I mean, the lineage is still there. It's a matter of what NXT was and is. And of course, it's Pretty Deadly that comes out to interrupt them, the former champs. So
their clothes, though, it's like, where do they get
I
this
know.
stuff?
I mean, their gear is next level. It's fantastic. So,
but they're a good team.
They are.
Like they have great facial. Like
I tell you what, hold what you got. Let's start, and we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
This is Ring of Honor ring announcer Bobby Cruz. This is Ring of Honor ring announcer Bobby Cruz, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons back with me again.
Good to see you, Stu.
Good to see you.
It's been a little while.
Again, big thanks to Keith Lee and Bhupinder Gujar from Impact Wrestling for coming on with me last week. How was your weekend?
Busy. Yeah. I mean, I still do Wags' show in the mornings.
Right.
So that was
right. Wagner Wire, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. to noon Central on the Horn.
So, keeping busy with that. Play-by-play things and, trying to get paid, having to send out invoices. That's what happens when you're a one-man band.
Yeah.
Except I don't have kids like, what's his name?
Wags?
No. Wags does have a kid, though. But, no, I'm talking about he's got kids.
Oh, that was Heath.
Thank you, Heath Slater. That's why I was like one-man band. I was like, I was hoping you caught that part.
Okay. All right. Well, it was an interesting weekend. It was a fun weekend. I spent it in Arlington.
You spent it not just in Arlington. You spent the whole week watching wrestling. That's what happened.
I did spend the whole week watching wrestling, but yeah. So Saturday, went up to Arlington for Ring of Honor Final Battle at College Park Center on the University of Texas at Arlington campus, and the home of the WNBA Dallas Wings.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? Nice arena. It's a smaller arena, but nice arena. Final Battle was, I would say, it was a fun show. And it felt like they were trying to reset some stuff.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Because of, with what was announced afterwards, and we'll get into that here in just a bit. But it felt like they wanted to kind of reset Ring of Honor. We had heard Tony Khan had a media conference call last week leading into Final Battle, and he had mentioned, and he had mentioned before, that we weren't going to see as much Ring of Honor content on AEW television, Dynamite, Rampage, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So, this felt like, they wanted to set something up for, set up for, moving forward. It was a loaded card for sure. There were 12 matches if you count
You're
0
like
hour.
still counting them. Oh man, was it like a dark?
You had 0 hour, which was the pre-show. They had 4 matches on it, including you had Jeff Cobb on 0 hour. It was good to see Jeff Cobb live again.
So that was just kind of like a fly-in, right, for Cobb?
Yeah, because he's still busy with New Japan. You had Matt Menard, Daddy Magic.
Yeah.
Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker
Where
from the
are
Jericho
you?
Appreciation Society.
Where are you with those guys?
They're fun. They're funny.
Because like at first I was kind of like, oh, and then like I started watching them more, and I was like, man, they're really good at their character work.
They are. They're fantastic.
Like how they build themselves up as top guys, but they know that it's just really, really smart work.
We also got to see Ring of Honor, stars Eli Isom and Cheeseburger from the Shinobi Shadow Squad.
Wow, long
so it was
time
good to see. Good to see Cheeseburger back in action. Got to see the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, along with Maria Kanellis Bennett.
All of them together.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was a bit surprised. They took the L. They lost to Top Flight, to Dante and Darius Martin. I was a little surprised at that. But
you're talking about resets. I mean, with resets have to come new
well,
faces,
but Top Flight is an AEW tag team. Now maybe they'll switch over to Ring of Honor. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, have they really determined what ROH is going to be?
Well, and that not really, and that's
you went to the scrum.
We'll have to, I did go to the scrum, and then we'll talk about that here in just a bit, because there were some news coming out of that. In the pay-per-view, we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 title changes. In fact, the only champion that kept his title was Samoa Joe, defeating Juice Robinson to retain the Ring of Honor World TV Champion. Of course, he is also the TNT Champion for AEW. But you had Athena, who, and in a sign of the current state of wrestling as it pertains to fans, she's been booked as a heel the last few weeks. Not there. She came, of course, she's from Dallas, so. Yeah. She came out to Heroes Welcome.
I was going to say, how could you boo her in her hometown? Yeah. It just wasn't going to happen.
And she captured the Ring of Honor Women's World title, beating Mercedes Martinez. You also had the Embassy, Khan, Toa Leona, and Brian Cage defeating Dalton Castle and the boys to win the Ring of Honor 6-man titles.
I am saddened by that.
I am too. I'm a huge fan of Dalton Castle. Of course, love the boys. Brent and Brandon are fantastic.
Yeah, because if they're going to make this ROH thing a regular, weekly episodic type of viewing, regardless of where it's at, I think Dalton Castle is one of those guys that you have to have on that show.
Well, and they are signed. Dalton Castle and the boys are signed to Ring of Honor. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Wheeler Yuta did recapture the pure title, defeating Daniel Garcia. Got Garcia to submit to the hammer and anvil elbows.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was interesting. I in fact, both that one and the world title. Claudio Castagnoli, he was in danger. If he had lost, he had to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. But luckily, he didn't lose. He captured the Ring of Honor world title. Submitted Chris Jericho via the big swing.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Swung him like 20, 25 times, and Jericho tapped.
Makes sense, though. You never get...
but you never see anybody tap to the big swing.
Yeah,
that was new.
Yeah, but I mean, if he goes around 25 times, I mean, G-forces add up. You know? So I imagine, Chris was feeling pretty seasickness at that point.
Afterwards, Wheeler Yuta came out to celebrate him. Jerry Lynn, someone with a big stamp on the legacy of Ring of Honor, he came out to celebrate him. And the Briscoes, the Ring of Honor Hall of Famers, are now 13-time World Tag Team Champions, defeated FTR, and I don't know if I would call it the best of the trilogy of the matches.
Yeah.
It was by leaps and bounds the bloodiest.
Oh, well.
Because it was double dog collar match.
I saw that spot that Dax did where he wrapped the chain around his forehead and delivered the headbutt. I was like, that was awesome though.
He spent about 4 minutes trying to do that because you had I think it was Jay Briscoe was on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
And Dax was, like you said, trying to wrap the chain around his head. Well, the chain kept sliding off because his head was so, was covered with sweat and blood.
Yeah, and
so
no offense, there's no hair on there for it to latch onto either. So it's just slipping.
it was definitely a match. I would definitely put it in contention for match of the year. That was just the craziest thing.
Was that like match of the night? Like after you saw that,
easily.
nothing could beat that?
Easily. And it was. And what's bad was you had that match, and then you had Samoa Joe, Juice Robinson, and Claudio and Jericho.
Oh wow! So that was supposed to be like
well, in the post show media scrum, Tony Khan was asked if he had thought about putting FTR Briscoes in the main event slot, and he said he did, but he wanted to honor the world title, and that's tradition says the world title is always in the main event. So he wanted to give that respect to Claudio and to Chris. He did announce it was, and this was so at the during the media conference call. Actually, it was at the start of the media conference call before Final Battle. I asked Tony Khan about any update on possible weekly TV, and he said we would hear something after Final Battle. So we got to Final Battle. He did announce, and it's kind of a good news news. Ring of Honor is relaunching Honor Club.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they've got the streaming. They'll have that streaming platform. It will be $9.99 a month. You get access to the tape library of the last 20 years. That is where whatever Ring of Honor weekly TV looks like, it will end up there. Couple things. So future Ring of Honor pay-per-views will end up on there, but they'll be 90 days after they happen.
Oh,
and
okay.
I guess that's because they're still running them on Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
So they still have to kind of they gotta defer to Warner Brothers Discovery on that.
But I mean, at least I guess you'll get it at some point to watch.
So you get them 90 days later.
But if you're the type of person that likes ROH, I mean, like a lot, right?
It's
and you're gonna rewatch it or you put it on the background.
You get to see a lot of the archives, a lot of the different shows, pay-per-views, events, whatever. There was no concrete news about weekly TV. He did seem to intimate that we would know more after Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom.
So after the 4th.
He's very, very proud and very very proud of the relationship between New Japan and AEW and Ring of Honor. He reiterated, just like he did back in the summer, there is going to be a Forbidden Door 2.
Did anybody ask him if he's concerned about the working relationship between New Japan and WWE?
You know what? No, and I don't know if that.
I know it's like a one-time deal, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if you'd call it a working relationship or if it's just the new regime is allowing Carl Anderson to go back so that he can defend the Never Openweight title.
Yeah, what happens if he wins it? He keeps it.
Well, see, and that's so most expected when that news first came out. Most expected, okay, he's going to go back. He's going to drop the title to Hikuleo, and then come back, and then that's it. Well, now there is at least the talk around the campfire that Carl Anderson will also be involved in Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I would suspect Luke Gallows as well.
And you kind of feel like if that's possible, that AJ Styles.
So now I'm kind of like going, okay, well then does that mean Carl keeps the title, or is he going to drop it, or and I guess it's a matter of we got to wait and see. we'll have to wait and see what happens.
That's the best thing about pro wrestling, when it's actually unpredictable like that.
Absolutely. So,
but wouldn't it be cool though if we got like a Bullet Club original reunion, because the two companies crossed over for a slight period of time, and they kind of like just wrapped up that storyline?
It would be must see TV, but that's not going to happen.
I know, but like all the players are there. That's why I'm just all like, oh, it would be nice for them to wrap up that storyline through both companies.
Yeah, it would be nice. You also had the final breakup, the breakup between Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. It was Swerve and Our Glory taking on Shane Taylor and JD Griffey.
Well, how good was it for Griffey to get like featured?
Man, I was so proud for Jerome.
Yeah,
it was we've worked with him and called matches and ring announce matches and all that good stuff. So it's good to see Jerome.
Remember when he just started? You know, he was just kind of like on the undercard, sweating away,
absolutely,
just kind of like paying his dues. Went to Mexico.
He got some good shine. There was a spot where I think Keith was coming on, or he was trying to kick JD. JD ducks. He kicks Swerve. And Swerve is down, and apparently that was the moment. Swerve gets up, walks out of the ring, gets to the stage, flips everybody off, and goes to the back. And then and Keith actually got the win. And then afterwards, he and Shane and JD hugged, because they're all boys, So, like I said, all in all, it was a fun show. Big thanks to Ring of Honor for having me up there. It was a lot of fun, entertaining post-show media scrum. We had Athena, we had Claudio, Samoa Joe, Wheeler came out, and so I didn't realize Wheeler Yuta, his debut in AEW, was here in the at AGP Center Cedar Park a year ago.
Oh, that was the first time he wrestled for AEW, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, big stuff. Real quick, NXT Deadline was also Saturday. Bron Breakker defeated Apollo Crews. We had congratulations to Roxanne Perez and Grayson Waller. They are your Iron Survivor. What do they call it? Iron Survivor Challenge winners.
Yep. I did not hate that matches as much as I thought I was.
No, they were fine.
They were easy to follow along.
They were fine. I thought, again, I felt like it was a little convoluted, the rules and everything, but okay, it's fine. It's something different.
But the wrestling itself was good, though.
Yeah. Again, the New Day. I guess now the third behind FTR, formerly known as the Revival, and Street Profits. So the third team to capture the Triple Crown in WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and now they are the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Is anybody else better than the WWE when it comes to manufacturing importance about something that really has no importance? Like, seriously, no offense against the New Day, I love them, but
it's something to.
But I always felt that kind of.
That's what I think that's their 12th title reign.
I know, but I always
across all three brands.
But I always feel something like that kind of cheapens like what the performers before them did. Like Demolition and the Heart Foundation.
Well, it was New Day that broke Demolition's.
I know.
Title reign record. And, of course, now the Usos are breaking New Days.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Right,
I get it's just like there's so many titles to win.
It's also Kofi Kingston's 15th tag title.
Yes.
Breaking Booker T's record.
For most.
So, all in all, fun show from NXT Deadline. Okay, great.
Braun?
Grayson Waller, he'll be the latest to get fed to Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be at New
Braun
Year's
looked
Evil.
impressive, though.
Yeah, Braun looks impressive. Apollo looked good, too.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
Two big dudes going at it, both athletic big dudes going at it.
Now, as we are taping this right now, it is Tuesday night. So NXT is happening now. And Roxanne Perez got attacked by Mandy Rose, and it was a whole thing. And so Roxanne Perez has decided not to wait till New Year's Evil. She wants Mandy Rose and the NXT Women's title tonight. So if that happens, if that happens while we're still on the air, we'll let you know what happens. When they do something like that, when it happened on Saturday, I'm going, oh, great. It'll be the latest to get fed to Braun Breaker or Mandy Rose.
Mm-hmm.
The way they did this, when they do it like this, it usually means a title change is coming.
I mean, it makes it seem like, they really built her up to overcome adversity to come over and win this title, right? Make it real strong.
Yeah, I would think it feels like a title change could happen. If it doesn't, I think everybody be disappointed. So, but yeah, it was interesting. A couple notes. Trent Seven, former NXT UK Tag Team Champion with Tyler Bate as part of Mustache Mountain.
Okay, that's where I saw that dude from before.
Made his AEW debut on Rampage.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Lost to Orange Cassidy in the challenging for the All-Atlantic Championship, but it was good to see Trent Seven. He looked good.
Can we just call it the Too Many Oceans title?
Yeah, no kidding. We also had on Dynamite, Britt Baker and the AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter challenging Saraya to find a partner, and they will square off January 11th at the Forum in Los Angeles.
Any ideas? Somebody new? Somebody
I hate to do this, but the talk around the campfire is because she is already slated to be in Japan for Wrestle Kingdom. There are at least a few that are saying Saraya's partner would be the artist formerly known as Sasha Banks.
Nah, I don't see that.
I don't either. I think that's I don't see it. Now I could be wrong. I'd
be really surprised.
I'd be really surprised as well. But we'll see. Could it be a returning Thunder Rosa? Could it be
that's true.
Somebody else debuting? Which, if it's somebody else debuting, well, I mean, the other possibility could be the artist formerly known as Naomi.
Yeah.
Trinity Fatu.
I keep on hoping that she's going to come back someday.
Hold on, it's
probably XLR at this point.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on, folks.
Why is it raining?
Let me get by you.
Not as old as I am, my friend.
Should be. Oh, yeah, shut that door. Okay, let's try it. There we go. All right, now we're back.
Like, When I really think about it, it's like, how did you get an apartment with like 2 restrooms, or is it one?
Just
right?
one.
It's just one interlocking restroom.
Yeah. All right, back to it. What were we talking about?
You were talking about Sasha Banks,
Oh yeah, Naomi.
or possibly Naomi, and I was
Right.
like, no, I really would like to see her more part of the bloodline if they ever needed a female member.
Yeah. So yeah, it could. We'll see. Got a few weeks before that happens, so we'll see.
But where on the scale of 1 through 10 would Sasha Banks signing with AEW really register?
That'd be huge.
Yeah, but give me a
That'd
number.
be huge.
Give me,
That'd be a one out from 1 to 10. That'd be a 15.
really?
Yeah.
That big?
Oh god, yeah.
Bigger than CM Punk?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
CM Punk had been out of wrestling for 7 years.
Okay, and she's been out for
Sasha has been out for
a few months.
6-7 months.
I just don't see her leaving unless she's going to make more money.
Well, she's not coming back to WWE. We
At
know
all?
that.
At all?
No, she hadn't been back yet. She's not coming back. She is going to Japan. She is going to Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's going to come through if they can afford her.
No, apparently it's already happening. It's not a if they. It's happening.
That's what I saw.
No.
From what I saw last, more than like it was like an 80% thing. I know there's been talk about it all week, but they were saying like they were just trying to figure out numbers still.
I heard it's happening. So,
and
but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know who will be. We'll see. One other interesting hire. So AEW hired former WWE Vice President of Global Television Production Michael Mansory to be a new Senior Vice President with AEW and a co-executive producer. So apparently Michael Mansory was the heir apparent to Kevin Dunn in WWE. He had been in WWE for 11 years, I think. Left in 2020.
Well,
Has since worked for One, the MMA promotion, and also worked for the Pat McAfee show.
well, I mean,
So apparently now he is with AEW.
yeah, but Stu, the big question is, do you really want like the protege of Kevin Dunn to be like the next guy? Like,
Yeah, we don't need quick camera jerks. No. Let's hope that's not what he brings. So, but yeah, so there's that. Interesting times in AEW and Ring of Honor and NXT. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, got to go through the latest from WWE, including another Wall Street Journal article about Vince. That's coming up next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. It's Axiom.
do you like this character, or has it have you gotten used
I don't
to?
know. I don't know if I have a feeling one way or the other about it.
I mean, I like his wrestling.
Yeah, he's a great he's great in the ring. It's Duke Hudson.
So this
The
thing,
blonde with Chase U she is a hoot and a half.
her facial expressions. But I'm just kind of like, this Chase U thing looked like it was getting pretty big, and then it kind of just went. Phew.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do.
Oh, hey, what's
Hey,
up with
what?
what's up with Drew Gulak?
I guess he's the latest.
Is he just
main
back?
roster? Main roster started joining to go back to NXT.
He was on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean,
Where was he this whole time?
I
I thought he was like released.
main event.
He was wrestling on main event.
I guess.
No, I'm being like serious. I'm not being
I guess.
facetious.
Yeah, no,
I have no clue.
He's been on the main roster. So I
Okay.
assume he was. Yeah, assume he was.
Did
yeah.
not. I honestly.
I
did
don't
not
think
know.
he'd been released. No,
I thought he had been released somewhere and they didn't re-sign him.
I don't think so. So
Because I did like that whole no-fly zone gimmick that he had for a while.
yeah, that was fun. All right, let's see what we can do with number 2. YouTube, Twitch. I got to mute you. We'll be right back. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the horn, Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons.
Stu, can I say real quick, if
Yes.
they had made like a full professional wrestling league from Southpaw Wrestling, I would watch that. Like if
Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
Yeah, like if it was the WWE guys, right, and those characters, but they actually did an actual show, like
that was
weekly
fun.
episodic. No,
Yeah.
but like I mean, like with real storylines and actual wrestling as those characters, I would watch it.
That would be something to watch.
Like I've never seen like a wrestler portray a different wrestler besides what Body Slam.
Yeah,
No holds barred.
lately, Impact does this IPWF
Oh yeah.
special. They've been doing that the last. They've done, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. The most recent, in fact, was over Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So, Vince McMahon, no matter how long he's been gone, seems to find his way back in the news. So there is a new Wall Street Journal article from Joe Palazzolo and Ted Mann. WWE's Vince McMahon faces fresh demands from women alleging sexual abuse. Basically, he is facing legal demands from 2 women who allege that he sexually assaulted them, according to internal documents and people familiar with the legal negotiations. In a November 3rd demand letter to Mr. McMahon's representative, a lawyer for former wrestling referee Rita Chatterton asked for $11.75 million in damages after she publicly accused Mr. McMahon 3 decades ago of raping her in a limousine. Mr. McMahon has long denied the allegations. The demand letter was reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. In a separate November email to Mr. McMahon's attorney, a lawyer for a former spa manager said that Mr. McMahon assaulted his client in 2011 at a California resort, an incident previously unreported in the media. Let's see. The board for WWE, they had an investigation, found that payments to the women, payments more than $12 million, though made by Mr. McMahon personally, should have been booked as WWE expenses because they benefited the company. A related board probe seeks to assess damage caused by Mr. McMahon's secret pacts and to determine whether legal action against him by the WWE board is warranted, said people familiar with the matter. Spokesman for WWE and the company's independent board members declined to comment. Mr. McMahon declined to comment. Mr. McDevitt didn't respond to requests for comment. Then there's this. The 77-year-old Mr. McMahon also has told people that he intends to make a comeback at WWE, according to the people familiar with his comments. He has said that he received bad advice from people close to him to step down, and that he now believes the allegations and investigations would have blown over had he stayed, these people said.
I hate to say it. That is true, though. It totally would have blown over at some point if he had stayed like he normally does. But we are in a new generation where it was the right move for him to step down. So I don't think he got bad advice, honestly.
Okay, first of all, I think I can speak for every WWE fan out there when I say, Vince, stay the hell away. The notion that he thinks he can just come back and this will just blow over. This isn't going to blow over, because now you're you're not only talking about, you're not only talking about payments and reports to the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. You're talking about legal action against Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, but Stu, this guy beat the feds. He's like Donald Trump. Like he's always perpetually in trouble, owes people money or something, and it just blows over.
And it's interesting that this article came out with the documentary on Vince that has been
postponed previously, right?
But no, it's airing Again, we're taping this on Tuesday night. It's airing tonight.
No, but I mean
on Vice.
But they were going
They
to.
proposed they were supposed to be in October.
That's why
they
I was
decided
saying.
not to air it because it was AEW and NXT on that same night.
Yeah, it was just coincidental that it's airing this week.
They decided to push it to tonight, and now here's this article the day of that airing.
Yeah. Now, when I was saying what I said, I mean, I'm talking in reference before this story broke, because it's just like, oh, if it's perpetual, then I don't know, Stu. I hate to say it, man, but I'm just being realistic. I mean, Deshaun Watson's playing in the NFL. He just played last week in Houston. So I'm just like, who's for me to say that? Yeah, Vince McMahon might be able to sit on the sideline for a year and just come back at some point. I'm not sure how it would work.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Now here's the thing. So Vince is still the majority stockholder for WWE.
That too.
But the reports I've seen and the talk around the campfire is that there is not a person in WWE that wants Vince back.
No,
they since Vince left, morale has gone up, profits have gone up, gates have gone up, ratings have gone up.
I mean,
it is almost night and day compared to what it was. He left in May, I think, April, May. It was May. It is night and day.
Well,
that could not. I mean, Vince, I think, might be a tad delusional in thinking he could just insert himself right back where he was.
Well, Stu, we all have to remember that this is the guy that basically brought pro wrestling to where it is today. It's been because of all these shrewd moves that he has made over time that shows you that he is Vince McMahon for a reason. So he has that ego.
I get that. This isn't 1984 anymore. This isn't 1990 anymore.
Oh, and I get that.
It's 2022. It is a different world. And he would be doing, I mean,
it'd be a disservice to some of the talent, that's for sure.
Oh, let's not just he did just piss off something. If he found his way back in WWE, they'd go in the tank.
You don't see it as like Disney World where it's just like, yeah, they can have a few bad years.
No.
What do you mean? No, they've been around for like 60 years.
Look, I'm saying the creative over the last 10 years has been god awful.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying
the ratings were bad.
Yeah.
Morale was bad. AEW is here because of what Vince was doing.
Well, yeah.
They're not putting Vince back in. And I've seen reports that say even his family members are telling him, no, you don't do that. You stay at home.
Yeah, but Stu, we also saw Ric Flair wrestle this past year, and everybody said no.
Ric Flair is not the majority shareholder of the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yes, but along the same lines of where people didn't want to see it, but we got it anyways. It's pro wrestling. Like, I bet you Vince will be back within like another year in some form or another. And he still needs to get inducted into his own Hall of Fame, so I'm sure that's going to happen at some point.
Sure, that could happen, but no, I don't see Vince coming back. No, I think Vince needs to keep his happy. You know what?
But how
sitting at home in Stamford?
How do we not know that he hasn't already put some influence onto some of these shows via proxy already?
Allegedly, he's not. He's had no, Triple H is booking everything. It's Stephanie and Nick Khan as co-CEOs. Apparently, he has no influence.
But you don't think a man that powerful, like, you can just cut. Like,
I'm not saying that there's. I'm sure there's stuff they still do that Vince did.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it's not.
He's got to have moles.
It's not to the level. I'm sure he does, but it's not. He's not putting together the creative. Case in point, and in this, I'll credit this to Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select. We have heard regularly that the creative for SmackDown is set on Thursday, a full day ahead of when the show goes live.
Where's the fun
It's
in
not
that?
being. You're kidding me, right?
So just
It's
being-
not being torn up 2 hours before you go live and having to be rewritten. I'm saying it now.
Live
It
towel.
is not happening. It's not happening. Vince needs to stay at home and
Oh man, it's pro
do-
wrestling, Stu.
he needs to stay home. But nevertheless, we will, we'll see what happens out of it. But I would be shocked if Vince McMahon, maybe he shows up on a show. I don't know.
Look, I'm not agreeing with the things he's done, but obviously he is like the father of modern day professional wrestling. As we know it.
I don't doubt that I don't take that away from him.
So like he's
But
got
that's something he did in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Again, it's 2022. He's 77 years old.
I know, but
He needs to stay retired.
I know, but he's gonna. I mean, that Hall of Fame induction has to come at some point, though, right?
Fine, he can go up and spout whatever he wants, and people are gonna, I'm sure the wrestlers there will applaud, but most everybody else is going to point and laugh. It's not happening, and just because you can put Vince in the Hall of Fame, doesn't mean he's back, running creative and being CEO again. It's not going to happen. I'm telling now. So
You want to put up some?
I'm not putting. I'm just saying
I was like,
it's not going to. It's not going to happen.
I was
So.
like, I'll gladly give you $20 in a year if that's the case.
Another Cassidy Haynes from BodySlam.net. We saw Riddle get, his head got pilmanized by Solo Sikoa on Raw last week. That was to write him off TV because he's failed a second drug test.
Yeah, and the WWE doesn't test for marijuana anymore either. As part
Well,
of that test.
yeah,
That means
so-
it's something else.
And this was a second fail.
Yeah.
His first fail was in the weeks leading up to Clash at the Castle, which is why his match with Seth was taken off the card or changed. The word around the campfire is that Matt Riddle is entering substance abuse treatment, which, so they've been touting that, a 6-week quote unquote recovery that would fit in a 28, 30-day program plus some, so we'll see what happens. But let's see, SmackDown.
Well, I mean, hopefully he gets the help that he needs, man, because he seems like he's going to be a big part of them going forward, talent-wise.
You hope he does, and you hope he can get his life straight. He's going through a divorce and everything, and so you
'cause
just hope
he's
he can
dealing
get
with a
things
lot,
straight.
you know?
And I think he could be get back to his prime self again. So Roman Reigns is showing up this Friday, coming off Usos successfully defending the tag titles. Apparently he has a quote surprise for Sami Zayn.
Ooh, I wonder if it's new gear.
I don't know.
Maybe his own glove, his own like Superman glove.
Or could it be something else?
I mean,
Could this be the downfall?
no, they're family now. They have handshakes and everything.
I don't know. Okay. Alexa Bliss. So Monday Night on Raw, she defeated Bayley. She is now the number 1 contender to the Raw Women's title, being held by Bianca Belair. Bianca was out watching the match. After the match, Bianca goes in, extends a hand to shake. Alexa, as she's putting her hand out, she's standing in front of she's got the Titantron behind her.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it flashes the Bray Wyatt sign. She puts Bianca in the position to hit Sister Abigail, and then lets it go and says, I'm sorry. Look, and we saw it at Deadline, too, with this Ela Dawn and making the ref puke black goo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I hear all the arguments about Undertaker this and Undertaker that. Fine. But in 2022, going into 2023, for the love of God, I know it's going to happen, but for the love of God, let's not have more Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss.
Don't listen to Stu.
No, please listen to me.
No,
please.
I'm the one that was like, this is exactly what was needed.
No,
we all knew this was going to happen.
Needed. It's not needed, so.
Like, what? I mean, what else was she going to be? I mean, she was just like, oh, she had new theme music. Good for her. I was just like, now at least she has.
Go back to being the goddess. Go back to being the 5 Feet of Fury.
Nah, that wasn't getting it done, Stu. Like, she was just going to get lost in the shuffle.
Hey, that's just me, so. I got to take a quick time out. When we come back, let you know what's happening in independent wrestling around the area. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, and you're listening to The Horn. All right, so now I guess this is the main event. Yep, 8:52, so this will be the main event.
Damn, Mandy Rose is hot, though.
Mandy Rose and Roxanne Perez. And Booker T's at ringside. Bob, what do you think of Booker T's commentary? Pretty
sure it was your mom said, don't say anything if you don't got anything nice to say.
It's okay. I'm
nothing against him personally, but
he's
kind of overbearing. Like he tries to
it's gibberish. Half the time it's just gibberish.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was like, he kept on saying the same thing yesterday. Or, I mean, I watched Deadline like a day after. But, what was it that he was saying over and over again? Because, I'm a commentator, so I'm just like, not just in pro wrestling.
As am I. I mean,
but in just regular sports. And, the one thing that I'm always taught was, or, try to be conscientious of, is not repeating the same phrase over and over again.
I know.
He kept on talking about Pretty Deadly. He kept on talking about all these guys. They were all special.
Yes.
You don't get it. They're special. And I'm like, oh, okay. What's so special about them? And he never went on to go.
And he was going all heelish on New Day. He had a huge problem with New Day, which, okay, I guess he was trying to be a heel commentator for it, I guess. But it felt like it was more than that. It felt like he really didn't want New Day there to win the tag titles, which...
somebody did an axe kick that he would do, and that kind of got him a little upset. And I was like, I guess if that's the heel work, that's fine, but it's just kind of it feels too forced.
Well, yeah, and again, it feels like half the time he's just it's incoherent gibberish.
But you do wonder if he had somebody in his ear going hey, go harder on New Day. Hey, keep on. Lay it down even more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because I don't know. Because
I don't know if maybe Sean is in his ear.
I mean, even without Vince,
but
you still have producers.
I don't know. I'm not.
But I've been really.
I'm not
surprised.
a fan. I'm not a fan of his commentary at all.
I'm just surprised why is he the heel? Why is he so negative on all these guys that are supposed to be up and coming? That's
But it switches back. It depends on the match.
That too. It's there's no consistency on when he wants to be the bad guy. Right?
I mean, and to a small extent, Corey Graves is kind of like that.
Yeah, but Graves is he has that WWE formula down pretty much.
He's good.
He's
once
pretty
in
consistent.
A blue moon, he has certain baby faces that he'll go for,
which I'm okay with though, because that's just being.
I guess it's not near as noticeable. I guess just because he is good at what he does, but I don't know. And I love Booker T to death. I think he's fantastic. What he does with reality wrestling is top level.
But it's not this is the first time he's ever done commentary, though. That's why I don't understand.
That's the weird thing.
That's why I'm did somebody just tell him to go this hard as a heel?
There are times when it almost feels like he doesn't watch the product. He almost gets confused, I think, at some of the wrestlers. I don't know. It's just.
But I can also see that where you worked with some of these wrestlers before for such a long time, and
Yeah.
you know their name was different, or you know their real name, and like their Fed name is different than what they were before, and you know even.
Well, I mean, the case in point, you got Roxanne Perez, who was in Reality Wrestling as Roxy, and in fact, when she came out at the top of the show, the fans chanted Roxy.
Oh yeah.
You know. Which
I mean, but her
okay,
name's
but everybody-
Roxanne, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I would call her Roxy even now. I mean, Roxy is short for Roxanne.
Yeah.
So
like I said, I'm just not impressed. I'll be honest, I don't know why they had to make the change with commentators.
because
This
Pat
last
McAfee
time.
had to leave. Basically,
I mean, okay, so
and they went from 3-man to 2, which also
well, but they still have a
what Byron running around getting
or
interviews now?
maybe they just have 2 on Raw.
Yeah, they only have 2 on Raw.
It's Kevin Patrick and
Corey. And then you only have 2 on SmackDown.
Okay.
It's Wade, right?
Michael Cole and Wade Barrett.
But
yeah.
we're not sure what's going to happen now that McAfee should be coming back.
Yeah, that's true. You know, College Game Day is over, so we should see McAfee back soon. But yeah, so all right. Well, I'm glad. I was watching, like I said, I was rewatching Deadline, and it was driving me nuts.
Yeah, it really stood out. And I was just kind of like, has it always been like this? And it's like, it kind of has been since he's come back.
Since he's come back to work in NXT.
Yeah, but that's why I'm just kind of like, but he's been on commentary before, and it wasn't like this.
But
He's actually pretty good on commentary.
Yeah, but it was on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe he was more familiar with the product or what. Because again, like I said,
because he was like,
it
active.
feels like he doesn't watch the product that much.
My thing is that he always tries to fit in and I get the reference, but the shucky ducky quack quack. I'm like,
but that's fine. That's his catchphrage. Okay,
I
get
know,
that,
but he always puts it in at like where it doesn't fit.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm just like I said. I'm not a fan of his commentary
Right at this moment.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Fan of Booker T himself. For sure. But
I feel for Vic Joseph.
Yeah, he's good too.
Vic Joseph.
Vic is grown on me. I
He's
didn't
great.
think he was that good at first, but I'm like, okay, no.
Well, I heard him a few times back in the day when he was
Evolve or
no, it was a House of Hardcore
for
Tommy Dreamer.
Okay,
and he was great there, and of course getting the gig with NXT. I think he's really good.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, I was like, okay, I underestimated him. He's pretty good.
You can hear there are times when you can hear it in Vic's voice. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm confused.
So. All right, let's do this.
I mean, Roxanne's not winning this, is she? You think she's winning this? I mean, with the setup and everything, it kind of seems like it.
It feels like because they did it, it was kind of like whenever they do these, like, I forget, we want to do it now, right after she gets the number 1 contendership. It feels like
this is one
they
of those...
want to go ahead and do the title change.
This makes you feel
and Mandy's had it for what, a year plus,
something like that. Ever since the reboot, right?
It's time. There is nothing left for Mandy Rose to do.
But it does make you feel.
I would say send her back to Raw or SmackDown after this. But I don't know.
It does make you feel like they're like kind of promoting the fact that like, oh, you have to tune in because you just never know what can happen when NXT is live.
True, very true.
Which I don't hate though. It gives you if she does win it tonight, it's all the more reason to be like, hey, I should watch more often because I really don't know what's going to transpire.
Yeah.
Because it's always worth it. Like, you remember when you would see a title change like on Raw or something, huge deal.
Oh yeah, because it was such a surprise and everything.
Oh, like when Mankind won it, it was just like, oh wow, we're getting a huge title change on Raw. Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Or when Luger defeated, or when what was it? Goldberg defeated Hogan.
Yeah, that was on a Nitro.
On Nitro.
Nitro in the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you just put that on TV? That's crazy. But like, oh, I have to watch that,
Well, and that could be, there was talk Eric Bischoff cared more about TV ratings than pay-per-view.
Yeah, but it was smart at the time, though.
But hey, yeah, at the time it was hot. It was really hot. Yeah, and we went with the high end.
I mean, it made.
That's why I'm 95% sure MJF will win tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
but there is a piece of me that says,
nah, not even. I love Ricky, but nah. His promos was really good though. I'm glad that he got noticed.
By the way, they did meet. I had it written down. MJF defeated Ricky Starks May 27th, 2018 in Inspire.
Oh, I was going to say in Inspire, right?
It was become number one contender for the Pure Prestige title, which ACH was holding at the time.
And I got to bring you these notes.
I thought there were 2 matches, but I couldn't find the second one. So it's just been the one. Nope. 1-2 kick out.
And I got to bring you these notes from like that AEW show, the last one that I did when they were here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I look at that card and it's just like how many of those people are like on like big shows or have been champions of big promotions now. I'm just like, whoa, that's so crazy. And that wasn't that long ago. So it shows you how quickly things can change over just a couple of years.
It does. I've heard talk about the fact that you don't, because the indies are not as filled with talent as they were.
Oh yeah, we talked about it with Biss. He said the same deal.
You're not, not like, back in 2017, 2018, 2019, it's not like that anymore. And
yeah, there is really not a king of the indies.
She did it.
Okay, so he was like, I guess, babyface for this one because he's like her teacher.
Well, it's his girl.
I know, but technically he should be. That's cool though, man.
That's awesome.
Especially since she's been like a lifetime fan. She really is the prodigy though. It's crazy. Not even old enough to go out and buy drinks.
And that is all. And this is that point where it's like, damn, Booker T is just beaming.
I really thought that was gonna be it right there.
Yeah.
Is this her finisher normally?
I don't remember if it is or not. Straight up just air.
Yeah, because it's like I don't really watch her that often. But I mean, I know who she is, but I haven't seen her on WWE television that often.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good stuff. All right, well. Yeah, here we go. Let's do the last segment. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. We talked about it in the last segment. Breaking news. Roxanne Perez has her second major title, defeating Mandy Rose to become the new NXT Women's Champion. And how cool was it to have her teacher from Reality of Wrestling, Booker T, ringside at commentary for that?
I'm not sure because we just talked about Booker T's commentary and what our
In the
issues
break.
were with that
Yeah,
during the break.
But still, it was that. I mean, look,
I'm sure it sounded all right.
Roxanne Perez. Look, we have watched her. Saw her in the Indies. I saw her in Inspire, and then she got signed with Ring of Honor, and then became the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, and then gets signed by WWE in Roxanne Perez, and she's had a couple shots. We were joking about it. She's not old enough to buy alcohol.
Yeah, she can't even
But
technically
she
drink
is
after this.
the NXT Women's Champion. It's just so good to see Roxanne Perez with that gold around her waist.
I will say, though, I think it's funny, though, because it's breaking news tonight, but by the time the people get it
I
on the
know.
radio, it's going to be
It'll
like,
old.
oh,
No,
well,
that's okay.
Just in case you missed it, though. We saw it live.
Yeah. Got to tell you about a couple of independent cards happening. We will start in Sherman. Texoma Pro Wrestling presenting their annual Toy Drive Friday at the Sherman Elks Lodge in Sherman. Bell time, 8 p.m. Central. $5 off the admission if you bring an unwrapped toy to donate. You will also see D'Lo Brown, former European champion in WWE. Shane Taylor, Tim Storm, Short Sleeve Samson, and more. That's Texoma Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Sherman. And then Reality of Wrestling presents Christmas Chaos Sunday at Booker T's World Gym Arena in Texas City. Bell time, 5 p.m. Central. Black Bart being honored there. Plus Ryan Davidson, Terrell Tempo, Rachel Rose, and more. That's Reality Wrestling this Sunday in Texas City. And that's look independent wrestling around the area, wherever you may be. Go out and support independent wrestling. Football this weekend. We'll start Saturday. The Vandegrift Vipers. They won. They beat Katy last week. They are heading to Jerry World. It is Vandegrift taking on DeSoto for the 6A Division II State Championship at AT&T Stadium on Saturday. That game will be on kickoff at 3 p.m. Central. You'll hear Merle Bertrand and the crew live from Jerry World right on the horn. It'll be on all three frequencies, 104.9, 101.9, and AM 1260. Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys, who heard one of my colleagues up there playing with their food and almost ended up getting beat by the Texans, the one-win Texans, before Zeke punches it in to win.
Oh, yeah. Zeke looked like he was worth his money that day, honestly.
Finally. Anyway, the Cowboys travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Pre-game 11 a.m. Central with Zach Wolchuk, and Brian Broaddus. And then kickoff at noon Central with Brad Sham, Babe Laufenberg, and you can hear that on the horn. So, Cowboy, at least in the NFL, you don't have to worry about style points. A win is a win is a win. So, Cowboys now at 10-3 and still got a shot at that NFC East title. So, we'll see how they do it. That'll do it for this week, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch most Tuesday nights around 7:30 p.m. Central. Or you can catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys. We are The Horn, 104.9, 101.9 FM and AM 1260. Or you can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the on-air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us part of your time tonight, and we will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go. So, I'm recording the Vince documentary, by the way.
I'll catch it at some point this week.
Should be interesting. The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon is the title.
Yeah, that's why
And
I
it's
was
airing
like,
on Vice.
That's why I was like, man, I hate to say it, but I do agree with him. It would all blow over at some point, even with the additional allegations. Like he's one of those guys that just like, it doesn't stick. Nothing ever sticks.
Well, like I said, this isn't like the steroids trial in 91, where they basically got to, and if you watch the documentaries on that,
yeah, they had it.
They
messed it up.
It was
The feds messed it up. But they had
this
everything
is
they needed.
But this is a little different because we're talking about sexual assault.
I want to say that it should be different too, Stu, but we clearly see that, unfortunately, even in this day and age, it really isn't. Like, yes, there have been powerful men that have gotten their comeuppance, which is good. Like Weinstein.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I hate to say it because of the way he perished, but because what's the guy that probably wasn't really killed in prison, didn't commit suicide, but he said he committed suicide? Epstein.
Oh, Harvey Epstein. No.
No.
You
know who I'm talking
yes,
about.
Jeffrey
though.
Epstein.
Yeah. But I mean, like in this case, though, it's like Deshaun Watson's playing in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. I get it, but I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm still of the mind he's not coming back. They're not.
I don't think anybody wants him back.
The board won't let him back. Steph's not giving up her CEO seat. Nick Khan's not giving up her CEO seat. He's not coming back. So, what you got the rest of the week?
Got notes I gotta go work on, my man.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I got
you're gonna
games.
do play-by-play tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, Friday.
I am off this. I have nothing this weekend. It's gonna be nice. My main Christmas tree fell over. I got to redo that.
Yeah, I can see the stars all bent.
Yeah, so I got to fix it. But
is
otherwise,
it time for a new main Christmas tree?
It might be. I don't know. It might be.
I mean, you might be able to get a good sale on one still with like.
Well, day after Christmas sales and all that good stuff. I'll be free. I didn't say it in the thing. We are preempted next week, so it'll be podcast only next week.
For what?
Men's basketball against Louisiana.
Now, we were talking about Vince McMahon.
Chris Beard.
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, there's a good chance that even with the allegations presented as they are, he could still be head coach.
There's also good chances he won't be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate to say it like this because I know somebody in the end, there's real people involved that are really hurt by this. But
we don't, obviously we weren't, so we can't tell you exactly what happened. We've seen the arrest warrant, seen the affidavit. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, there was a report that the complainant, accuser, which I think it's his fiance.
That's what they've been saying.
Has said, I don't want him to be charged. I want, didn't want him to be arrested, whatever, which.
Yeah, but if you call the police in Texas, somebody's going to jail.
Yeah.
For a domestic dispute.
I get it.
That's just how
so
it
I don't know.
state.
I don't know how that's going to end up. But
All I'm saying is that there's a lot of Texas fans that when this happens to another coach somewhere else, they're automatically like, oh, that's it. You should just fire the guy. But I was very surprised by some of those same fans being like, well, we have to wait until everything. I was just like, oh, okay. So it does.
Well, he has been suspended without pay.
Yeah. Yes, I understand that. But I mean, I'm just saying that those same fans that were so quick to, throw stones at other glass houses were.
Well,
I was just very
fans are fans are fans.
I know.
I would say, gotta wait and see what comes out in the wash.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand, but I'm not a Longhorn fan either. So I'm just looking at it from the outside in. But I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so the tables have turned. Now we need to wait and see everything. I got it now. I see how it is. So. Like, let's just be consistent about the message that we're trying to portray.
No,
here,
I totally agree. So
that was my only gripe. But hopefully it all gets worked out and we get a definitive answer because it is unfair to those guys that are on the team.
Yeah, so we're podcast only next week. We're going to take December 28th off.
Are we really?
Yes, because it's in between Christmas and New Year's.
You're going to be like in Arkansas?
Actually, I am planning on going to Arkansas. It'll be later that week. It'll be like
that's what I assume. I was like,
Wednesday,
you going
Thursday,
fishing, camping, something.
Might go up to the go parts unknown up in Arkansas and
parts unknown.
Hang
There's
out
like
with
a
my
cabin
brother.
out there, isn't there?
It is. It's a beautiful cabin. We just don't have Wi-Fi. So I think we're going to take the 28th off. So that's podcast
good.
only next week. Nothing on the week between Christmas and New Year's. We'll be back. It will be January 3rd.
So it's like pre-New Japan show.
We will go. So if we'll stream to 7:30 p.m. Central on that Tuesday. So it will be about 5, 6, 7, maybe 7, 8 hours before New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 17 starts.
And they're only doing one night, right?
It's one night. Yeah.
Okay.
One night. In fact, I got from our friends at Bet Online, I got betting odds on Wrestle Kingdom, at least early on.
I was just say that's way too early, isn't it?
It is early, but I can tell. Let's see. So right now, Will Ospreay is favored over Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
In their match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. For the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Kazuchika Okada favored. He is at minus 400 to Jay White at a plus 250. So
not surprised.
No, not surprised either. Kairi is favored to win and retain her IWGP Women's World title. The IWGP or New Japan's World TV title tournament final. Zack Sabre Jr. Right now barely. He's at a minus 180. Ren Narita is at a plus 140. So it's close there. And then Taiji Ishimori from Bullet Club favored to retain his junior heavyweight title. So interesting. They've got Okada, the Rainmaker, as a favorite. He's beaten Jay White before for the title.
Yeah.
That was at Madison Square Garden 2019. I think Jay White has since defeated Okada. But Okada with the briefcase, he won the G1 Climax. And I get the feeling that they want to put the title back on Okada. Mm-hmm. Maybe because they've got plans in 2023 to maybe pick back up, trying to get into the U.S. market and all in such as that, and worldwide and all that good stuff. Plus, the notion we got from Tony Khan at the post Final Battle media scrum was that apparently there's things in the works for New Japan and AEW and Ring of Honor. So
in WWE.
So, well, he would have nothing to do with WWE, but that's beside the point. So we'll see. I don't think. I mean, in New Japan's not doing a joint pay-per-view with WWE.
Yet.
No, they're not. They're not doing that. Let's forget the yet. So anyway, Yeah, we'll be back on YouTube and Twitch next week. You around as of right now?
I have to look.
Card subject to change. So we may not do one next week. We'll see.
I think so, though.
Okay.
But I have to look.
If he's here, we'll do one next week. If he's not here, it'll be me solo. I'll get Semper Vivi or Nick Hausman. I was with Nick at Final Battle. It was good to see him.
Good.
Hanging with him. Also saw Andrew Sanchez. He now works for WFAA in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Our Rhodes Wrestling Academy videographer and executive producer for the showcases. It was good to see him. So, all right. So we're going to sign off for now. Thanks to those of you that are watching this. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your week. But for now, for Justin Upstew,